All the other kids with the bumped up kisses better run, now run my gun. All the other kids with the bumped up kisses better run faster than my bullet. All the other kids with the bumped up kisses better run, now run my gun.
This is 2 cents. I'm Clay. Yeah, let's get started. First off, I just want to, thank everybody for the support, liking and subscribing to our videos. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, we need the support. Every like and subscription counts. So thank you. Yeah, the topic I want to be basically going over today is, you know, where did we come from? Did we, evolve from bacteria? Were we created by some, you know, godlike force? Were we created by aliens? Who knows? And there are so many different conflicting theories out there. I mean, you know, there's a theory of Darwinism, which, up until recently I was, more or less buying into, but I don't know. I've kind of seen a bigger picture, and watching a few documentaries online and whatnot. Maybe it's a little bit paranoia, but hey, I think if the evidence lines up, there's no reason not to buy into it, or at least keep an open mind about situations, because science gets proven wrong every day. I mean, things get discovered every day, so who's to say? Alright, so I want to be talking about my personal favorite of the, theories of evolution or creation or whatever you want to call it. But I believe we were, it goes along the lines of Darwinism, except for a few really weird cases where they're just like scientific anomalies. They just shouldn't be there. Like, for so long there was just bacteria in the ocean, and then it blew up, and now it's sea creatures that don't look like they're from here. I mean, they look like aliens. Look at pictures. But anyways, so yeah, up until then it seemed plausible. I mean, hell, I mean, evolution is working every day. I mean, look at bacteria. You get a vaccination for the common cold, and what happens, a few months later? You get a cold. Same symptoms, different disease, because it's mutated. It's adapted to your body, and it's found a way to evolve, basically. So, evolution in a nutshell. So, yeah, up until a certain point, I believe that, more or less we evolved from apes. Like I said, up into a certain point, because there is tons of fossil. Well, okay, scratch that. There's not tons of fossil evidence. There's actually not a lot of fossil evidence leading up to the dawn of man, because we just can't find it, or it doesn't exist, because like the last or not complete but near complete skeleton that we found of Homo erectus, or Neanderthal, that we found, it has a similar bone structure. I mean, its bones are obviously much more dense to support more lean muscle, and basically along that front. And they have a raised brow, sloped foreheads. They look more or less like monkeys, and to say that there's only one missing link, I mean, that's what scientists have been spouting off about for years, is, oh, we got to find the missing link. Once we find the missing link, we'll be able to put, the theory of evolution into, its rightful place as what everybody should believe. But it's simply not. I mean, there are so many other alternatives, and there are so many things that the people who believe in the theory of evolution cannot explain, like the anomalies, the random things that show up in periods of time that nobody has any idea where it came from, how it was put here. I mean, like humans being one of them. I mean, we have an anomaly inside our genetic structure that isn't existent in anything else on the face of the earth. We have a fused cell in our I forget what it's called, but it's basically your DNA. But um, yeah. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but anyways, it's in your DNA. It's two different pieces of DNA occupying the same spot, or more or less. But it's just an anomaly that hasn't been found in science ever, except for us. And so there, like I said, there are many different theories, and when you start to really think about it, I mean, is it that far fetched that we were evolved, past our humanly possible, or human, potential, that we were super evolved somehow? I mean, look at us. Do we look anything like cavemen? We have rounded heads. We have a chin. We're not hairy. Our bones aren't huge. You know, we're more intelligent, more or less. I mean, some people, but anyways, that's a different story. Um, yeah. So there are a lot of ancient cultures that believe that the gods, in their terminology, the gods came from the heavens or heaven, but that's just um, I don't know, code for outer space. The heavens up in space. I don't know. It makes sense. But anyways, so these ancient people all depict relatively the same things: flying machines, rockets, and not like, not Battlestar Galactica or Star Trek, just the Enterprise, just giant ships. They look like modern day man-made rockets. I mean, they have the propulsion at the bottom. They're long and cylindrical with like a cone shape at the top. I mean, they look like modern day rockets. Maybe a little bit exaggerated or under exaggerated, but details fade away. Anyways, they also depict people in like space masks and like suits and stuff like that. So one of the ancient cultures that I was talking about, there's quite a few of them: Inca, Maya, Egyptian, and one of these is like Mesopotamia, or ancient Sumeria. It's also been called Babylon, I think, too. So there's that. But anyways, ancient Sumerians actually invented the first form of writing, actually being able to document, what was around you at the time for future generations to observe. So when they did this, they were recording their history, and whether or not our scientists recognize it as actual history, or they just dismiss it, it is what they believed and interpreted to be their history. So there's no reason for them to make up stories thousands of years ago about things that were far beyond their knowledge. Anyways, I mean, it's pretty far fetched to think that these things don't line up. I mean, you have to be closing your mind pretty hard not to see what's right in front of you. But I don't know. That's just me. Yeah, you know, um, tell me what you guys think. Do you believe that we were evolved by ancient aliens that ancient societies worshipped as gods? Do you believe that we were created by God Himself? Do you believe that we evolved from bacteria? I mean, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, and take it easy.